Hi class, welcome to week 4. This week we are going to concentrate on marketing in regards to small businesses and in regards to writing up our business plan. We're going to be writing the marketing portion of your business plan this week. So this week we have a recorded lecture here. It is regarding chapter 7 in your text. So I suggest reading chapter 7 in your text as well as listen to this lecture. We will be looking at chapter 7 PowerPoint in this lecture, but I have included it here below for your review as well. Your graded work for this week will consist of a discussion with a main reply due by Thursday and a reply to a classmate due by Sunday. This discussion is all about marketing, and I will talk a little bit more about it in a little bit here. Also due this week is a chapter 4 assignment. This is just kind of a general marketing assignment, which I will also talk a bit about as we go through this lecture. It's a pretty short marketing assignment where you get to learn a little bit about web pages. And then finally, we have the marketing portion of your draft, the marketing, your business draft portion of your business plan that will be due. And we'll talk about that in our lecture here as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start us off with the reviewing a little bit in the PowerPoint I have. So I'm going to go ahead and share that PowerPoint with you, and I will share some other things as we go along today as well. All right, so marketing. What is promotion and marketing? I think most of you have a general idea of what that is. You know, marketing is getting the word out about your business. Promoting is same idea, but you're promoting your business, trying to encourage people to go to your business to buy your product, your service, getting that word out there to potential customers. Now, in the previous chapters, we talked about your target customers. One reason I had you do that as one of the first portions of the business plan was so that we could help you develop a marketing and promotional message that will especially target your target market. It doesn't mean that you're not going to try to get other customers that are not in your target market, but you can really create a niche and a competitive advantage by perhaps promoting and marketing to your target market, especially because they are the ones most likely to buy your product. You're going to want to bring in those clients, especially with your marketing. Okay, so promoting and marketing, your idea is to move the image of your business to the forefront of a prospect's mind. So let's say you're a restaurant and it's Friday night and you know, a group of friends are deciding which restaurant they're going to eat at. You want your business to be one of the ones that they think of. All right. Multiple promotion channels are imperative. So not just one type of marketing, but having several different types of marketing is imperative. And your message must be consistent. The more consistent your message, the more people kind of remember it. You know how commercials have like songs to them or jingles? That helps people remember the product. And you should have online and offline efforts, but they should, again, have the same similar message that is going out so that customers have a good knowledge of what your product is. You know, if you have different messages out there, they might be like, well, is this a restaurant or is it, you know, a cafe or, you know, anyway, it's best to have a consistent message. And you want to wrap the price, the product, promotion in place. For those of you that have taken Business 101 class, those are the 4 P's of marketing. You have your product, you have your price, you have promoting of that product, and the placement or distribution of that product. And you want to place that all around your target customer needs when you are marketing your product. So again, important that you've identified your target customers. Following blogs and Twitter feeds can help you keep yourself up to date. I'm going to go ahead and share with you just a couple of ideas here I have. One of them is on Facebook. There is a group called Clatsop County Takeout Eats and Treats. And on that, restaurants from the area, this was encouraged, especially when restaurants had to shut down. This was encouraged for restaurants to put, their hours and their takeout options here. But I imagine even after the pandemic is over that this kind of a Facebook group will maybe continue to exist. You'll see though, if I scroll through, there's lots of restaurants on here. We've got El Compadre. This is Astoria Coffee House and Bistro. We've got Bridgewater Bistro. This was a place where a lot of these different restaurants, this is Astoria Brewing Company here. They're showing their different dining options, whether they have outdoor dining or takeout or delivery. We have the next event. They've been very good about advertising their stuff. Sasquatch Sandwiches, Ruby's Roadside. This is really pretty cool. So if you're looking for a restaurant for takeout or anything in the near future, they usually have their specials here. And there's things you might not have thought of, like Blaylock's Whiskey Bar has had some takeout events. Well, this was recent. I think I missed it. But anyway, they've had some takeout events that they've been able to market since they haven't really been able to be in person dining. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Because this also shows you an example of their website and how they've adapted to the market. Because their market was, dine-in clients, people that maybe after work on Friday wanted to have a drink and relax and maybe go on a date, any of that stuff. And they're not really able to do that during the pandemic, but you can see they created a takeout event where they've paired up some different cocktails, desserts, etc. And now with to-go cocktails being allowed, that's helped with that probably, but they've got a menu of cocktails and a menu of appetizers. With the to-go cocktails, you are required to have people order food with that. And then they've got desserts, and here's some beer and wine and etc. But anyway, I thought that was really pretty cool. They have kind of a gone with this idea to try and help market their business and stay with the current, business environment as it is right now. I'm going to go back to the takeout eats and treats. Some of them you'll also see, I think I saw it on Bridgewater. A lot of these, when they made their posts, they put links to like their websites. That's super handy, especially if someone wants to go and order stuff. You saw that with Blaylock's. Here's next event here. And it, the link is right in the Facebook post, and they can just go right there and go to the menu and order what they want. So that's pretty cool. What else do we have? Some of them, while they don't have the direct link, if you were to just click on it, it will bring you to their web or to their Facebook page. And then they've got an individual Facebook page where they might have some other posts on there that they didn't have in the other area, because the other areas, for all the different restaurants, this one is for their particular restaurant. Anyway, just examples here. Websites and whatnot. I'm going to go back to some of these other ones here in a minute as we discuss things. But I liked this one because it really does move the image of the business to the forefront of a prospect's mind. The idea behind that Facebook group was to promote, takeout for our area restaurants. And hopefully when, you have pictures of your food and those kind of things, people look through them and like, yum, that sounds good, and order from those restaurants. Okay, so connecting with your target customer. Customer service is huge, especially with businesses, that are face-to-face. And even your customer service can go along with your target customer. So if you have a younger crowd, they may have a different idea of what they expect out of customer service than maybe, say, older clients. The other way to connect with your target customer is through networking. And this could be networking in person, which is obviously hard during COVID-19 pandemic, but it could also be networking, online as well, like through Twitter, Facebook, etc. Any time you can get free airtime or free ink, that is a bonus. That would be like a customer, or not a customer, a newspaper decides to write an article about your business opening. Well, that's free advertising, that's free ink. And free airtime would be like, if the radio station decides to come your way. I'll go ahead and show an example of that. Not this one. I've shown this in my business class, but this market, Fish Sticks, opened recently, and the mayor of Warrenton went to his business and posted it on his own webpage, which I've seen that with other businesses where people, posted a message about, a business or a restaurant they went to on their own webpage, which I think is definitely excellent. But in the case of like a mayor, he tends to have a few more people following his webpage. And so he went live here to promote. And so that was kind of an idea of free air, I'll call it. And I'll just quickly show it here.
And I'm in front of an unfinished building. It's finished in the sense that it's occupied, but they still got some facades to do. As you know, the Warrenton Urban Renewal Agency has a facade improvement grants program, which we're going to be.
Okay, and I'm going to fast forward just, So you can see he went into the business, and the business owner showed him around, showed him what products. And again, that's just an example of free airtime with advertising. My advice on advertising is any and all advertising you can get for free is awesome. You may get 0 customers from it. You might get tons of customers, but if it's free, it's free. Things like that are free. Posting things on your own Facebook page, or having your friends promote your business on their Facebook, or, like that Clatsop Takeout and Eats, posting up your menu there, all of that stuff was free. And in a sense, some of that will lead to networking as well. Personal selling could be that you literally just walk up to someone and, ask if they want to buy your product. This is kind of an older way of selling things, but it could be used now. I know I've been approached about buying things like, let's say, Pampered Chef, where I'm sitting somewhere and then someone starts talking, and yeah, I sell Pampered Chef items, and or you guys are talking about soaps and you sell soaps, and if it comes up and someone likes them, you can always say, hey, I sell soap. So personal selling is good. There's also cold calling, where they call it, where you could literally go down a phone list and call people. That is really not, I don't think, a popular way to market businesses anymore. It used to be, but most of us have been getting those car warranty calls like 3 times a day. I just hang up. I don't know how successful those are, but anyway. Visibility, like with the 4 P's of marketing: product, price, place, promotion. Place is a big thing with visibility, especially if you have like a store or a restaurant. It has to be somewhere where they can see see your store or restaurant. And if you have a really visually pleasing exterior or a sign, or even like a sandwich board, maybe on a corner. So maybe your business you can't see, but they could see a sandwich board. Email. Let me show you an example of some way you could use email. Okay, so we've gone over that one, the email. All right, here's one. Here's a local business here. It's called Pat's Pantry, and it's over on the main street there in Astoria. And when I typed in Pat's Pantry, Astoria.com to get to their website, this pop-up comes up to join their mailing list. And the mailing list has a monthly newsletter about new products, discounts, and events. This is a great way to get people on your mailing list without having to really try that hard. You know, you're not having to ask people for their email when they buy something from your store, which I've definitely been to stores that ask you that. You know, so it's voluntary. You don't have to put it in there, but chances are you'll get some people to put in their emails there, and probably they want to receive your emails if they type that in, and hopefully we'll read those. So that's a good way to get the word out about your new products, discounts, events, etc. Also, since I'm here, I'll just show you, you know, their website for a smaller business is super nice. You know, I can see how they have dealt with COVID here. Pickup option available. They've got online ordering where you can either pick it up or get it shipped. And they give you the hours for the in-store shopping. Wow, they have a lot of hours here. And so they've got that info up there. And they kind of have featured collections. You can shop that way. They've got their store and their, so if you click shop now, I kind of chose this one because I saw an article, I believe it was in the Daily Astorian, about this. And this store was recently purchased by a local family because the owners of this store were retiring. And so they got that free ink, as we call it, through the Daily Astorian that did a feature on their taking over that store. And it got me curious, and I went to their website. So that was pretty cool. And I think this website's set up pretty nice. I'm on the alphabetical area of their website, and you know, you can go to, if you want certain things, like you want some salt, you can go specifically to the salt. Ooh, black truffle salt sounds pretty good. Click on it, and you know, you can buy different sizes and you can add them to your cart. So this is a fully functional website to be able to check out on here. So this is really nice. Let me see if I have, I'm going to go ahead and show you versus the fish store that I just showed you, Fish Sticks Seafood Market. Their website is really nice and visually appealing, but they don't have it to where you can order. They have like the menu, but you can't click on it and let's say order it ahead of time. The Pat's Pantry has it set up that you can order and actually just fully order from their website, which is kind of nice. I get with the Fish Sticks, they sell kind of fresh fish and whatnot, so they don't always know what they're going to have on hand. So it's not as practical to have this type of setup. Okay, so let me go back to our presentation there. So those are some different ways to get the word out about your business. Again, the email list is easy. It's not considered super effective because people aren't using email as much and they don't always read them, but it's cheap and it's really basically free. Direct mail, that's one that is definitely not used as much because mail's expensive. And again, people throw out mail a lot. But the ones I see it successful for is like Joann Fabrics, because they always have really good coupons in theirs. And so that's an example of that. Who else? Like Subway has coupons they send, and that's usually done through the mail. Paid advertising is also obviously an option, like advertising in the newspaper or in a publication. You know, you want to make sure that the stuff you advertise in, let's say the publication, is one that is going to go have your target audience is going to be, you know, seeing it there. Mobile, you know, like mobile phone type apps, etc. Sales reps, you know, you can go and, you know, go to businesses and say, hey, I'd like you to see my product. That's a hard job, I'm just going to be honest, but like pharmaceutical sales are done through sales reps a lot, where they go to a doctor's office and they say, hey, we have these sample drugs to try, you know, and if you're you know, you're, I don't want to call them customers, but your clients that are coming to you for medical, you know, needs to try some of these pharmaceutical drugs. This works really well. I have bad allergies, so I see an allergist, and she always gets different types of like inhalers to try, that they're always trying to get clients to try new and better asthma drugs. I will say there have been major accomplishments in that area that have kept my allergies livable. But they are always coming out with something new, and it's super expensive, because I know with like people with asthma, you need to be able to breathe. Breathing is important, and people will pay for those drugs to keep them healthy in that way, to keep asthma and, you know, from flaring up. Okay, money back guarantees. These are big, with like you'll see on direct ads on TV, you know, try it for 30 days, and if you don't like it, you can send it back. No, you know, questions asked. So that's a way to try and, you know, advertise something and get people to buy it. Trade shows. That is, I think, oh, I didn't mention it, but I was going to mention it to someone in their business. The trade shows, I believe it was folks interested in catering, for instance. A trade show is a great idea. I know before COVID hit, Astoria had like a wedding type trade show they would do every year. And it would be different food vendors that, you know, do wedding receptions, but it would also be like vendors with venues that are used for weddings, or people that sell wedding dresses or do alterations for wedding dresses, or wedding planners, all different things you would need for a wedding, you know, people baking cakes, all that stuff, all in one place. And so that's a place where you can advertise your products. Sometimes there's a fee to be in the trade shows, sometimes they're free. All right, catalogs. Those are kind of getting outdated a little too, with just so much over the online nowadays, but you could have a catalog of your products. Sometimes that's helpful for people to have that to refer to. Your packaging is important, and it does advertise your product. Keywords, like what was I saying? Like if you have a jingle that's catchy, or, you know, makes people remember your product. Pop-up banner ads. Facebook, and this is a little different, but like Facebook and other websites will let you, you know, buy pop-up banner ads. And while someone is reading an article, for instance, all of a sudden there will be like an ad there. You know, that's something that usually does cost money, but it kind of forces the person, if they, let's say, want to read the article underneath, it kind of forces them to at least see the ad. Maybe they'll just text right out of it, but it'll at least pop up in their vision. And POP displays, that's another one, like just kind of a display. And we actually, packaging is on there twice, so I'm going to leave that there. All right. So marketing, when I talk to you about this, it's going to be different for everybody's business plan. But you get the idea. It's getting the word out for your business however you can, using many different venues. But again, making sure that your message is consistent to your customers. And one way to decide what you might use is to examine successful promotion campaigns within your industry. You know, you can see what your competitors are doing, what other people in your industry are doing. And technology has opened, you know, new avenues to reach customers. As I just showed you, you know, like with Facebook and people starting a group for places to go get takeout in our area. You know, websites have been around a while, but then, you know, having that pop-up that makes you put in your email address, that's been around a while, but there's just many, just new different ways coming out there technologically to get the word out to customers. Word of mouth, or buzz as they call it, is the most effective technique. I'd say especially in a small town. It's important to get the word out and to have a positive word of mouth for sure. The minute you get the negative word of mouth out, that seems to get out fast, and then it can be bad for your business. But then they tell a friend, you know, about your business, and in a small town, word travels fast. And this is also a free venue. What I will say about this is obviously during coronavirus, this is a bit harder. And I think that Facebook group was actually meant to almost replace that word of mouth that people weren't able to get when they were like asking their friends, where should I go out to eat tonight, or get takeout for the night. All right. So answer these critical questions as you think about this. What's your message and how can you be unique? Not just like, hey, we have hamburgers, you know. You could say we have the, you know, we're voted the best burger in Clatsop County or something. How can you be unique, and what's going to be your message? And again, think of your target audience. What kind of message is going to be appropriate for your target customer? What can you afford to spend, and what are your prior experiences? You know, things like newspaper ads, television ads, those can get quite expensive. You know, what can you reasonably afford? And what have you used in the past and have been successful in the past using? And what are your goals immediately versus your long-term strategy? You know, do you just need to get as many people to your business right away, or do you want to just have a few people to begin with, you know, until you get on your feet and going? You know, long term, are you planning to maintain your business? Or are you planning to grow your business? What's your goal? And in order for someone to want to buy your product, what does your customer receive, you know, when they buy your product or service? What are they getting in exchange? What are you giving them in exchange for the money, you know? And what will give you the biggest bang for your buck as far as advertising? So maybe you can afford television ads, let's say, but they may not reach as many people as maybe even just a Facebook post. So what's going to be the best for your money? All right. And again, advertising dollars are shifting with increased mobile spending. And then as you'll see, like more and more people are buying like Facebook ads, which is, you know, online versus newspaper ads, etc. We talked about word of mouth and buzz. Keep in mind that exceptional customer service as promotion in and of itself, if they have a good experience at your business or with your product, that alone is going to create relationships, a reputation for your company, and, you know, references for people. And in order to do this, learn everything you can about your target customer, because the more that they are satisfied, the more they're going to, you know, have positive word of mouth and help you build those relationships and reputation. And make your benefits real. Don't just lie and say I'm the best burger or whatever. Make it an absolutely wonderfully tasting burger. You know, offer them more than what they expect, and then they'll have that positive image in their mind when they talk about your company or your product. So employees of your company, or, you know, you acting as an employee, should proactively be serving your customer. I mean, customer service is paramount. Yeah. I'm just going to leave that at that, but here's some other suggestions here as well. One way to make customers paramount is to be sociable and willing to help at all times. Even if you have to, you're not in the greatest mood, you need to have happiness, a positive attitude coming out, even if that's not how you feel. Customers, remember that too. All right, so we talked about free ink and free air as I went through it there. So I'll just quickly put this up here. When it's free, like when the mayor comes and comes to your store, it really does establish your company in a believable way, because it's an everyday person in the town coming and doing that. It's not paid, and so it makes you feel like it's a little less biased, perhaps. In the past, a lot of times we'll do like a formal press release. Now with technology and such, things are a little bit more informal sometimes. There's this consider help a reporter out, which connects firms with reporters. So if you can't just wait for someone to want to promote your business, maybe call up the paper and say, hey, I'm opening a new business. Do you want to write up a feature about me or something? And we talked about in previous chapter about a press kit. Make sure that you have a press kit available that's clean and concise. Or you'll remember those press kits kind of show what the audiences were and whatnot. That can be helpful when you're seeking out the free ink and free air, to make sure that you're going to the free ink and the free air that's going to target your customer. Testimonials are important and in that, and also bloggers are an excellent source of spreading the word too. So not just like a press report. Networking, we already talked a bit about that, but networking, I'm going to go ahead and share with you. One way of networking is joining a Chamber of Commerce. Here I pulled up the Seaside Chamber of Commerce. And one thing that helps with networking there is that they have a meeting every Wednesday morning, or pretty much every Wednesday morning. As of late, it's been virtual, but they still have the meeting. And they have all the different businesses that are able to attend the meeting. They introduce themselves. They tell the meeting, what's going on at their business. And it's just a great way for other business owners to be able to shop and promote each other. And learn about, what all of the businesses offer. So that's an opportunity for networking. And to me is a big benefit of joining the Chamber of Commerce. This page here tells some of the member benefits. So I was just talking about the weekly Good Morning Seaside networking meeting. There are other opportunities to network. They usually pick a business a month to do a business after hours. Where they go to a business on site and have just kind of a formal, again, with COVID, this is a little different, but they would have, maybe like some sodas and cheese and crackers available and, just a chance to meet up with different people in the community. And then they also have different events they hold during the year to try and bring business to the community. But also part of that membership is they have you in their membership directory, which if someone goes to their website and looks at who their members are, or other members of the chamber sometimes want to shop at their fellow members' stores, they will look there. But also anybody that goes to the Chamber of Commerce, like tourists, let's say, they're going to be more likely to refer people to their own members. Not to say they won't refer people to companies that are not members of the chamber, but they're going to, have at the forefront their members. They know more about their members and their services offered, so they're more likely to refer them. And, sometimes they are highlighted in displays or, things like that too. So anyway, they have some of those, and they also can, give you advice and help with some of these other items here. I know in Seaside, they have a like sometimes have like a coupon book, or, different things like shop local events and things to try and bring in more people to your businesses. So anyway, I just wanted to highlight that as an area there of networking. You form contacts, and then, like I said, hopefully you were all supporting each other's businesses, or your friends, or getting the word out about your business. And so it helps to become an active member of like a chamber of commerce. But there's other organizations too, charities, trade organizations are another big one. Any type of organization where you have those opportunities. Some additional promotional elements. Again, I've talked about a lot of these already, but you could do paid media, which could be like a Dahlia store and just ad on one of their pages. Point of purchase displays, that would be like at a store. How sometimes, especially like around the Super Bowl, they might have a certain soda out front that has a fancy like football type display with their soda. Packaging in and of itself, if it's unique and creative and just eye-catching, can kind of in a way also be a way of advertising. All right, and some things to avoid when you're advertising. 7 rules. You got to be accurate, no lies. Don't say you're the best if you really haven't been voted the best. Don't say it cures something if it doesn't. Get permission if you're using, other people's property in your ads, their art, any of that. Treat competitors fairly. Don't. In order to sell your product doesn't mean you need to tear down your competitors. If you are advertising like a big sale or a big promotion, be ready in case a bunch of people do start to order or buy it. You can't just have a couple on hand and oops. And then be aware of the word free. I'm definitely skeptical of that. Nothing in this world is free. There's always a catch. Now, it might be free in monetary sense, but there's always something, that somebody's getting out of it, whether it be money or not. And again, be careful when you describe your sales so that you're not misleading or inaccurate. And observe limitation on offers of credit. Yes, definitely. Some other things to think of, catalogs, we talked about that. Catalog houses, again, those are getting kind of old. Old fashioned, I guess, is what I mean. Ways of advertising, direct mail, money back guarantees, trade shows, other sales and marketing materials. Again, we've talked about these before. Just reiterating these here. Another way to market, is if you're a recognized expert in your field and you do like blogs or classes, those kind of things. Just develop that strong presence. And again, personal selling, you could just literally sell to your friends, your family directly, or others. I talked about a small business website, and that is going to be important with this week's assignment. A website and web marketing are vital. I'm going to go ahead and share back to our course and the assignment for this week. I'll start with the discussion. The discussion, we're discussing marketing and advertising and promoting our business. For the discussion, I'd like you to discuss at least 3 ways you plan to market and advertise your business. So your specific business, think of your target audience and all the things we've talked about, and explain why you chose those 3 particular methods of marketing and advertising. Keep in mind the costs. I didn't give you a budget or anything for this, but keep in mind the costs of the types of marketing and advertising when determining your plan. We'd all love to advertise, let's say during the Super Bowl or something, but that's not really achievable by many people. And so that's not really an option probably. So please make your first post by this. the assignment. Please go to the following website. So I have an assignment where I want you to go to this website. Let me go ahead and open it and share it with you. So I've got the link there. I've got it open over here. It's called the 15 Best Website Builders 2020, each tried and tested. I do not feel like pretty much any business needs a website. There's a few exceptions, but pretty much every business should have a website. Even ones you think you wouldn't need one for, I would highly suggest you have a website. So what this is this is the 15 Best Website Builders 2020, each tried and tested. Most of us are not website designers by trade. And it used to be that we had to like take coding classes and stuff to know how to even put up websites. But now in today's world, we have website builders that you can use. And you'll see these are the prices. And here they have talked about they've rated the 15 best here. And here are some, and with the prices, and they kind of tell you, you know, which ones are free or trials and which ones aren't and what the prices are. And they tell you a little bit about them. And then they rank them, which is pretty cool. And actually, I really like this table because it kind of shows you a little bit more about the pricing details and if there's a free trial, etc. So I want you to look at this article here. And actually, I see there's also like a video here if you want to watch it. There's some different videos of all of the different websites. But I want you to pick one of them to write about. And ideally, I also want you to try it out. So you have to pick at least one of these 15 to write about. And again, there's a lot of information here, or you could do your own independent research if you want as well. And so I want you to just write a bit about that website builder. And I also want you to try it. The trying it is technically, what do I want to call it? Not 100% required, because I will say that it may require a little bit of information from you. So if you absolutely don't want to do that, you don't have to. Just make sure you write your assignment and write about one of these website builders. But it might help you to write about it better if you try it out. And most of these allow you to try it out for free and don't ask you for credit cards or anything. If they start asking you for credit card numbers, you know, then you might not want to try it out. But this Wix.com, I went ahead and clicked on it. And it's over here. And I suggest, if you're not sure which one to try, Wix.com is the one that came to my mind first. And it's actually rated number 1 here. And you can see they kind of give you some pricing on here. Let me see here. Best templates and overall features was Wix. And they say the paid plans are from $14 a month, which you can kind of see here. But they do have a free trial. And I think they might even let you keep like your free thing up there without paying, as long as you don't like publish it. But anyway, you do have to either put in an email or something. I went ahead and logged into mine via Facebook. So let's see how that works. And it just let me log in via Facebook, probably since I'm already in there. So anyway, when you go to Wix here, literally you can try it out on your own and create a new site. What's really cool about these website programs is that they honestly bring you right through you know, what kind of business, you know, they have templates already set up. So let's say I want an online store like Pat's Pantry, you know, they have ones where you can do a little more of the work on your own, or you can even just have them create a website for you. And you can kind of see, ooh, online jewelry store. Oh, that looks kind of fun. I'll try that one out. And, you know, it just brings you all kinds of different options that you can do. I don't know if I need a chat feature, but the subscribe form is kind of cool. That was like the mailing list thing. I don't know that I can't really do the chat because that would mean I'd have to be on there a lot. Bookings, no, that would be like if you had appointments, events, pricing plans, menus, orders, reservations, groups. I don't know that I need any of that, but anyway, I'm gonna just call it Carla's Jewelry. And you guys get the idea. I'm not gonna finish going through this just because it takes quite a bit of time here, but that is your assignment, is to just give that a try. Again, you don't have to build a full website or anything, but I do suggest that you use the template on the one you choose to try out to build yourself a website. And it doesn't take that long. You know, it might take like 15 minutes, let's say. But it doesn't take that long, and you might actually end up with a website that you're going to be able to use for your company. And if you're not ready to publish it and start paying for it, that's fine. They don't force you to do that, you know, right away, at least not that I have seen, because I've built free websites there before and just decided, well, I'm not going to use it right now. And so I didn't pay, but it was available for a while for me. So I had a chance to think about it and, you know, decide if I wanted to use it. But that's where a lot of people go to build their websites, and then they don't have to hire a website designer. One thing I will say with websites and with Facebook, etc., you have to make sure that if you're going to have a website, that you are constantly updating it, making sure that the links are working and you're putting your new products on there, or if products are out of stock, you're labeling it. If your hours change, that you change your hours. Same with your Facebook page. You know, if people are going to go there for information, you need to make sure you have the right phone number, the right address, the right operating hours, you know, that you have the right menu there. And with social media like Instagram and Facebook, that maybe you have an employee or yourself that dedicates themselves to, okay, I'm going to do a post once a day about my company, or I'm going to make sure I do it at least every 2 days. I'm going to have a post of, you know, something special that day, like a sandwich we're offering or something. So anyway, for your discussion, you come up with 3 ways to market your business. For the assignment, you just get a chance to look at website builders and try and experiment a little bit with building a little bit of a website for yourself. But again, the assignment there is just kind of for you to write a couple paragraphs about the pros and cons of the website builder you tried. And to get some of that info, you can listen to those videos where they reviewed them. Marketing your business draft is the final assignment. And I think I'll go over that in just a minute. Let me finish my presentation here. We talked about the website. If you have only one tool in your marketing chest, it needs to be a website. Just so you know, every business needs a website. And it is easier, as we just talked about, than most people know. You do not have to be a master graphic artist or know computer coding or any of that. This gets a little more complicated. Is the search engine optimization is key. That means that when people search up Italian restaurants, you know, and you're an Italian restaurant, that your restaurant comes up in their search. And this takes a little bit of, you know, just experience and making sure you have the right tag words. And sometimes you can pay to get your search to show up higher and some things like that. But that's going to require some experimentation. First, you need to have that nice business website ready to go before you worry about people searching it out and finding it. And then you got to make sure you promote your website to people offline. Have it on your business card, have it on a link to it on the Facebook page. You know, have it so that people can go right to it. If you have, you know, an email that's going out, have a link to your website. You need to, when you name your website, you want it to, you know, be descriptive and easy, and include that on all your advertising, as I said, like your print ads, your business cards, you know, any sort of ads. As I showed you, like on that Facebook group for the takeout eats, that a lot of them had their website right in there. All right, 10 things every small business needs in their website, clear description of what you are, a web address that makes sense, a site map, you know, home, products, you know, about, like, you know, your backstory, easy to find contact information. That's usually at like the bottom of a website or the top. Customers' testimonials are nice to have. An obvious call to action, like to order or to come visit a store, and knowing, again, the basics of the search engine optimization. You may need to research this a little bit to, because that's changing as technology changes too. And as I talked about, fresh quality content, making sure someone's keeping an eye on it, you know, if not daily, at least weekly. A secure hosting platform, especially if they're putting their credit cards in there. You know, it's got to be nice to look at, easy to navigate. Yeah, so let me go back to, okay, do I still have that up? Oh, there it is, Pat's Pantry. I was just going to show you this one again really quick, easy to navigate. There's home, here's shopping. They've got their story there. They've got cooking class link here, recipes. It's a way to entice people to want to buy your different products. They've got the mailing list thing down here. And here's their contact information down here, Facebook page, Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and click the Facebook page. Yep, it brings us right to their page. Here you'll see their Facebook page, which has different products that they're highlighting there. Okay, let me X out of that one and get you back to our presentation. Finishing up here, attaching price tags to your strategies. Again, it has to be affordable. Determine your goals, how much you're willing to spend. Create a promotional strategy with, you know, the amount you're going to spend to get the most bang for your buck and get your word out there. And enact that, you know, go start your website, start your advertising campaign. And evaluate the effectiveness. If you're finding that you're paying for this Facebook pop-up ad and you really haven't had customers say they've found you that way, maybe you can adjust and spend your money elsewhere. So research the cost of top, you know, places to advertise and really kind of look at who's going to reach the most. And again, always use the free ones. Website, you just have to have it and it's relatively inexpensive. Direct mail, again, if it makes sense for your business only. Personal selling, same thing. And any other ideas you've developed. So just some last think points for success. Think of, if you were a target customer, what kind of advertising would entice you to buy a product. Be unique and creative with your promotions. A world of transition means opportunity for entrepreneurs, especially now with COVID. You know, there's different opportunities for entrepreneurs, you know, with things. It has definitely made some businesses struggle, but the one I can think of is, you know, there's a movie theater in Long Beach that is now turned itself into a drive-in theater. So they transitioned and now it's an opportunity. And maybe with the drive-in option, even more people will come to their movie theater. A good way to get people on your mailing list and get them to sign up is to give a little something away, have a contest, a freebie, create excitement. It sells, you know, like if you know, one way to do that is freebies or contests. Promote the benefits of your product or service. This is also really helpful if you use your own product or service. With that Pat's Pantry, I liked the idea that they had a recipe that used their product and service. Make them memorable experiences. Remember eating the meal that had that product in it. And if you can keep that customer happy, it's far cheaper than if that customer leaves and you have to find a new one. And again, make customer service your passion. Passionate customers as well as passionate salespeople, become walking billboards. And when you think you've made it, don't let your guard down. You got to keep promoting your business. And take the time to connect with your customers who don't return, and honestly, with the ones that do return. And listen to your customers and tell your story. Any chance you have to get your word out, you got to do it. Build relationships, be creative, talk about, your passion and your business and what you do. All right, so that is it for our marketing lecture this week. As I close out, I went ahead and shared with the screen the marketing portion of your business draft is your other assignment this week. And what I've done here is you have to go to the Dropbox and click in there. And I have an attachment in there. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm sharing this with you. There's an attachment in there that has the directions of what I need in there. So this is the marketing portion of your business plan, and approximately a page for each section of your business plan is a good general rule. It might be a little less, maybe a little more, but around there. And I've got part 1, what is your marketing message? Come up with something creative, like we have the best burgers out there, something like your product, enjoy barbecue every day of the year or in every season or something. I'm not very creative here right now, but see if you can come up with a marketing message or like tagline or slogan for your company. Again, if you can't think of anything, just kind of think of something that describes your product in as few words as possible. And so that's what I want there at the beginning. And it can also be just kind of a short marketing message of what your product is about. And then part 2, discuss the following questions about how you will market and advertise your product specifically. So what we do in the discussion, you can use here in your draft, because this part specifically asks you what type of social media and offline methods you're going to use to advertise, and how frequent, and what's going to be your budget. So this is just a little more specific than your discussion post, but you should be able to use what you have in your discussion post to kind of formulate your answer here. And then finally, just address any other marketing or advertising strategies you'll use. If you have other unique ways, unique to your product that you haven't mentioned already, that just gives you that chance to do that too. Because again, depending on your product, there may be a unique way to market your business that I haven't mentioned there, or maybe I mentioned in the presentation, but isn't mentioned up here. All right, so that gets us the assignment for the draft portion of your paper. And that pretty much wraps up the week. I will try to be reading draft portions of your paper as quickly as possible each week. I know that I've already returned at least the first section to folks. So, we should be well on our way to completing a paper by the time we get through the rest of the weeks of the term. So thank you, and we will have another lecture for you next week.